It is Donnchadh, by the way, and boy, it's certainly great to be here in Madrid, huh? Fuck those Barcelonans, am I right? That's last night's gig, shit. Sorry, I was playing on a little cultural stereotype there. Huh? Does everyone here speak English? Mm-hmm. Good, because let me tell you, right up there, there's a whole bunch of people who speak not English. Fucking millions of them, all stacked on top of each other. Honestly, I gotta learn some of that. They speak it in all over Spain, all over South America. They speak not English in China, France. Oh man, I gotta learn it. No, I'm playing. I would tell you the truth, I'm a very multicultural guy. But as far as I'm concerned, right, there are only two types of people in the world. I'm not talking about people who speak English and people who speak not English. There are only two types of people in this world. And those are people who would like to hear about the anal lesions I've developed as a result of lack of fiber in my diet, and people who do not. No, I'm generalizing. There's way more types of people in the world than that. I want to know about all of them. Especially those people who know a thing or two about clearing up anal lesions that I might have developed as a result of a lack of fiber in my diet. There's loads of people in the world, and you can tell a lot about people, different things. I like to think you can tell a lot about people by what they laugh at. I've learned quite a bit about you based on the fact that you get a good old giggle out of anal lesions, eh? Back home in Ireland, big Yara. Back home in Ireland, I've got a Pakistani friend who's my comedic license for being racist. And he fucking, you know what makes him laugh the most is Malik is his name, and Malik loves racism, which makes perfect sense because he's a race. That's what they're into. Malik just loves racism, and we just be strolling around the town, and I don't want anybody to get offended by racism or anything like that, because and nobody should dust off their swastika shirts and put them out to pasture just yet, because let's not forget that life is a flat circle, and only 30 years ago racism was very fashionable. They could come back like shoulder pads any day now. Honestly. You could be in dinner parties nowadays, and everybody's enjoying themselves, having a good time. Then fucking alcoholic Uncle Rob just says, who really grinds my gears is those damn Icelandics, huh? With their fucking hairy ankles. I had to think really fast there and not use a real stereotype, just because I can't see from where you're from. I could actually offend somebody. Those damn Icelandics. But just think, it was only 30 years ago, probably in this very country, where you could have just easily offended somebody at a dinner party by saying, hey, I think we should treat everybody all the same, black people and white people and gay people, I think they're all fine. You would have attracted the same dirty looks. So don't be too hard on Malik, because Malik just loves racism. Sometimes we just be walking around, and I remember one day we were walking around, and every time we turned a corner, Malik would let out a little sigh. Oh, every time we rounded a corner. And I was like, Malik, why are you doing that? Every time we round a corner, he says, oh, Donnchadh, it's just, every time we pass a corner, I feel like building a shop. Yeah, no, it's true, he said that, and I was appalled. I said, Malik, just because I am not a race like you, does not mean I cannot be offended by racist humor. Huh? And he said, Donnchadh, in this Caucasian society in which you are constantly ridiculed for your ethnic shortfallings, perhaps you should pick up the racial stick and use it for humor before they use it to beat you. And I said, Malik, that metaphor would have worked a lot better if you'd used the racial stick thing, but turned it into a crutch. But that's okay. It's your second language and shit. But then it was just at that moment that I realized I too had been beaten with a stick by society. And it was a stick that was made up of a society that constantly promotes an all-day diet with very little fibre in it. And not only had I been beaten with it, I had been wounded, lesioned, even. And it worked like laughing at racism worked dramatic. As a matter of fact, the more I seemed to laugh at my inner lesions, the more they hurt. It's like they hear me. Yeah, so I don't know too many more jokes that I could fit into 1 minute because they're after flashing the light at me. So I'm just gonna, well, I'd like to finish on this young man's face. Oh. Thank you very much.
Give a round of applause.